You want to make the first day of school memorable, and I want to help you do it. I've got ideas for you. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how you can get the first month of school back to school lesson plans completely free. You do not want that first day back to school to be boring. That first day can help set the tone for the entire school year. So if you are a teacher and you've ever asked yourself, how can I make my first day of school exciting? How do I prepare for the first day if I'm a new teacher? Well, I have two easy to implement ideas to share with you in this video. Welcome, teacher friends, to the first day of school activity ideas. I'm Tanya, the butterfly teacher, and we're going to kick off the first idea with this really cute craft. It's called Here's the Scoop About Me. You get 2 sets of cones and 2 sets of scoops, several scoops actually, with different topics. You print these out, super easy, but your students will do the cutting. And when they cut out their scoops with these topics, they obviously will go and fill those cones and topics in. And this is a really easy but very cute, fun way for them to have a hands-on activity and getting to know each other. You can use something like this for back to school night or as they enter on the first day of school. While you are standing at the door, hugging students, helping everyone get adjusted, everyone else at their seats can start working on their cones. Make sure you have their supplies already out because they probably will still have those in the packaging. But this is very self-explanatory, easy to follow instructions. They cut, they fill in the cones, they fill in the ice cream scoops, color decorate their ice cream scoops, and then they glue everything together. There are labels that tell your students where to glue. And that's it. Boom, bada, bing. I also really love following up once everyone has finished these super cute cones activities by allowing them to either work with a partner or in a small group or walk around the classroom and showing off their cones and telling more about themselves with their new classmates. Our second fun first day of school activity is one of my favorites, first day jitters. First day jitters is one of my favorites. This is probably my favorite of all back to school read-alouds. I recommend this book, highly recommend it. Even for elementary, middle school, I feel like it can relate to so many different ages. Whenever I would read to my students, I wanted to make it rigorous and I wanted to include the academic piece with whatever we were doing for back to school, relationship building, establishing procedures. I would go through the book and find vocabulary words and phrases that I knew that I would have to help them kind of define. And as we would go along with the book, I would have sticky notes with questions for reading comprehension, vocabulary and context, connecting background information, making predictions. Having the sticky notes inside the book as I read kept me on track, saved me time with lesson planning. And I've included these with the vocabulary as printable sticky notes in the book aligned set that you can get. So that way you don't have to spend time going through the book, figuring out what page numbers to ask certain questions and how to make it rigorous and engaging. All of that has been done for you. You just print the sticky notes out. On sticky notes, I have detailed instructions included. There are even blank templates that allow you to add your own questions on sticky notes. So that way, if there's something I didn't include, you can easily include it when you get ready to use this. But this is such a beautiful back to school read aloud, and having those printable sticky notes, it just kind of helps with your lesson planning, and it allows you to make this a rigorous but also fun read aloud time. And it's also just really good for you and the students to enjoy the book without you having to sit there and think as you read, okay, so what should I ask? What should I say? So highly recommend using those printable sticky notes as you read through the book. Let's take a look at the activities and worksheets that I've aligned with this book. Okay, to kick off our first day jitters book aligned activities, I included pre-reading questions because every year I read this book, I started noticing more and more students who they had read it before with a different teacher. And so this gave me the opportunity to kind of see ahead of time, well, who has already read this book? And then I can just kind of like guide the reading and the activity from there. The reading comprehension questions are definitely, they go along with everything that happens in the book. And this is really good for you to see, as you know, it's during the back to school season. So students, like, you're still building that academic readiness for them. And that's a really good way to do it. And then we have the graphic organizers included with a Venn diagram comparing and contrasting the characters, but also you are establishing procedures for back to school, expectations. I wanted to connect that with the book so that you could, I don't like to say kill two birds with one stone, but that concept of I'm not just doing something fun for back to school, but I'm also doing something that's going to help establish those routines in my classroom. This is a fun class, like whole group activity where they get to move around to talk about their feelings, or you can keep it individual where each student talks about his or her feelings, and then that goes into the characters of the book. How does Sarah Jane feel about the first day of school? And jitter jargon, oh, I'm about to drop the paper. Jitter jargon is the certain phrases from the book that I just wanted students to be working on vocabulary and inferencing at the same time. So then we have phrases from the book, and I want to see, can they pick the phrases that relate to what the word jitters means and put that in a speech bubble. And speaking of vocabulary, I enjoy doing QR code activities. I just feel like that makes the learning engaging. So words from the book in context that they need to define, and then they can check their own answer. I also use this to teach the procedures of getting the iPads, putting the iPads back properly, how to use them, how to use QR codes. Because again, we're not just doing fun stuff, but we're also establishing procedures for back to school. So this gave me a chance to do that. In the set provided for you, I have a copy with no QR codes because not all teachers want to use that, especially for the first week of school, the first day of school. That might be too much. So you have a set with no QR codes. That way students can just write the vocabulary definitions. Now, in terms of lesson planning, do I use every single one of these pages on the first day? No, that's overwhelming. I break it apart, and I have free back to school lesson plans that show you how I do my lesson planning for the first month of school. that is a great way for you to just kind of see how you would structure using this for the first day and even beyond that. So do not feel like, oh, this is too much. I would not recommend trying to use every single page in this set on the very first day. It is very doable, and it works for you to space it out. But it's great because all you have to do is print and go. And as long as you have your book, then the students can work on these throughout the first week. If you want them to, you can break it apart and do it that way. That's what I recommend for this. Once we finish our ice cream scoops and our first day jitter activities, I feed my students ice cream with jitter juice. There's another YouTuber that I have linked below with an amazing recipe video. If you want more fun back to school activities, ideas, how to teach procedures, getting to know you, fun ideas, I have the first month of school lesson plans available for you completely free. That is located in the description box below. Not only that, but you will also be able to find the links to both of these activities that I shared with you today. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. If you teach upper elementary and you want back to school activity ideas for that grade range, I have a blog post which is linked below with several more ideas that I think you'll really like for your 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students. Be sure to check that out. I always appreciate when my teacher friends hang out with me, and would you please give this video a like and subscribe?